Okay, here we are. My name is Ned. I'm a guitar builder and repairman. I live in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. I'm going to show you how to change guitar strings. This is a Martin guitar. I'm converting it from right-handed to left-handed. The nut is not complete yet. It only has little trace grooves for the nut slots. I have 6 strings here. They're 12 to 54 gauge strings, so it's off camera for both of my 2 cameras here. But I'm just going to pop them into the bridge pin holes here, and then I'll show you the easiest and quickest way and best way to get some guitar strings changed. So this is a new bridge. It's a left-handed bridge. Sometimes it twists my brain when I do a left-handed guitar. Just out of habit, every now and then I make a mistake and I put a string in the wrong spot. But today I'm going to do my best to avoid being silly. So this is maybe the slowest part of the job for me. And my fingers are feeling moderately clumsy today. Maybe it's because I have people watching, so to speak, online. You always get more nervous when you have people watching. Okay, so here we go. I've got all 6 strings. They're all put in the bridge pin holes all together. If anyone tells you, don't take all the strings off at one time, it's going to damage your guitar. Wrong. Okay. There's a lot of voodoo about guitar work or guitar ownership, and it's tough if you don't know sorting the voodoo from the truth, but don't worry about taking all of the strings off at one time. It makes the guitar string change go a lot quicker, and you can clean the fingerboard properly, polish the frets properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each string one by one. You can see it here. There's a space between the string posts. So I have 2 tools that I'm going to use. 1, 2. I'm going to explain this first and then I'm going to do it. So depending upon how close or far the string posts are apart, depending upon what type of guitar it is, you'll have to trim the string slightly shorter or slightly longer. A Fender Stratocaster or a Telecaster is an interesting type of guitar, and we'll get into that in another video, but the lengths for the strings have to be adjusted, because if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 strings that have no string tree, the 3rd string you'll want to trim it very long, such that you can put a lot of wraps on the string post to wrap the string down as low as possible on the string post to get as much break angle across the nut as you can. That's a story for another day. For now, you will notice that I'm going to trim the treble strings, the unwrapped strings. The thinner the string, the longer I will trim it. I have 1 tool that I'm going to start with. Okay, here I go. That's a little bit longer than the first string post. Kaboom. And there's 1. Here's 2, the B string. I'm going to go a little bit past. Boom. Here's the 3rd string. Just a tiny bit past. Kaboom. And the D string. I'll go just the distance between string posts. The A string. And see, now that you guys were watching, I thought I might have made a mistake. No, I didn't. I hope I didn't. No, that's good. And here we go, the E string. I'm going to trim it just a little bit on the short side. So, there's all my strings. They are trimmed. Because I'm trying to make a video, I'm doing a few things that are maybe taking some extra time. Now here's my E string. If you see what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take the width of the string post and a little tiny bit more, not much more, and I'm going to bend that and make a hook. I'll make a hook. Please do not leave a Medusa. Do not leave the strings really long at the end of your headstock. Why? One of my friends, when we were younger, he was playing on stage and he left his guitar like a Medusa, and one of the long extra string lengths that was on it, it poked a lady he was performing with in the ear, and it burst her eardrum, or it punctured her eardrum. So there's a reason that you don't do that. Also, there's no need at all to tie these strings. If you tie them, when you actually try and take off the strings, it makes it much more difficult to remove the strings. And you can both poke holes in your fingers, as well as you can scratch the headstock of the guitar very easily. So there's 2 strings on already. Here's my 3rd string. Again, each time I go through, I'm going to go and make that little hook, and I hook it on. I wrap one around, and I wrap it always, except for the rarest of circumstances, I wrap the extra string length to the lower portion of the string post. Okay, and then there we go. Now I'm going to go E, A, D, and then I go E, B, G. Now these strings I've left a little bit extra length, so I might be able to wrap around twice, and I'm careful to wrap it downwards, as I mentioned already. And I'm not going to tune this guitar up properly because the nut slots are not cut yet to proper depth. There's only the faint ghost of a nut slot cut in each of them. And so here we go, there's another one. There's 5 strings, and here's the 6th string, which is the 3rd string. And hook it into there, spin it around. I'll spin that one around only once. And again, this is not in tune properly because I'm making a new nut for the instrument. I have some more work to do. I need to check out the saddle height because it's a new saddle as well. And then I can show you there's a nicely strung guitar. I can rub my hand across it like this. I'm not going to get poked by any protruding strings. Okay, and I'll show my other camera. I can rub it like this. I'm not going to get poked by any extra strings. Very, very quick, efficient, elegant, and safe. Very practical. And again, when you take the strings off, it makes it a lot easier to take the strings off if you've only made a little hook at the end of the string instead of trying to tie the string on. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that video. Do the thing where you do the like and subscribe and all that fun jazz. Thank you.